Greetings, Nosto0063 back once again to press on with Mega Man 9. And today it's hopefully time for me to shine. So with that in mind, let's go after Jewel Man. Now while the first screen's pretty easy, an enemy gauntlet awaits us on the second screen, and my goodness they're not holding back here. You've got Mets, spin cutters, minecart enemies, cannons, all your favourites, all in one place, just for your convenience. Now, to be honest, I reckon it's the spin cutters you want to watch out for the most. Try to kill them before they reach the ground, when they'll start manically whizzing around from side to side. But ultimately, treat everything with caution, and if you can, try to position yourself on screen so you don't have multiple threats to have to deal with at once. And you may have seen there that I didn't fancy dealing with that spin cutter once it reached the floor, so I backtracked and scrolled it off screen, and that's a pretty useful tip to keep in mind. Phew, made it. So some spiders that we previously saw in Concrete Stage, but these ones you can't actually take out with just the buster until they drop down. So get as close as you dare and fire away as soon as they descend. Of course for the bottom one, it's always fun to lure it down the pit so that you don't have to worry about it. And the bottom one on this screen, lure it to the right, then hurry to the left, and hopefully you'll have enough time to get in position to take it out. So the first of a few swing platform screens, move Mega Man left and right to build up some momentum in order to reach the next platforms. And the last one, be careful not to swing too much or you'll corrode those spikes on the wall. So time for the mid-boss, Stonehead. He drops boulders from the ceiling, drops himself down to the ground and charges towards you. Keep an eye on where the boulder's going to fall, make sure you're in the air when Stonehead lands or you'll get stung to run into you, and of course, jump over him when he rushes at you. By the way, Hornet Chaser focuses in on Stonehead and will cause him to drop earlier than he otherwise would, so that's a good Rope-Master weapon to have on hand. Some mini dual shields to deal with here, 3 of them in total that foaming on you, stop and fire pellet shots. This can feel quite claustrophobic, so manoeuvre around however you best see fit, and of course you can only damage them when the shields are in the way. Attack that first minecart when it's on the right hand side of the ledge, or you won't have much room to dodge the projectiles, but you can attack the second one from the safety of the first ledge. And yay for pit pop-up enemies. Guaranteed to catch you out first time round. But once you know they're there, shoot them and quickly move on before it gets a chance to ambush you. And with swinging platforms, just be careful not to make them swing too much. There are some narrow areas around here with spikes and pits. Last screen of the level, and it's another enemy gauntlet. This time we've mainly got spiders and spin cutters, although there is a delightful big stomper right at the end to potentially really mess up your day. Again, try to kill the spin cutters before they reach the ground, but pay attention to the spiders and try to get them to drop down to an advantageous position, i.e. on the ground next to you, not on a lower or higher ledge. Ha! Missed me. So that brings us to Jewel Man, who can either be an easy fight, or in this case an extremely clumsy looking fight. He works as follows. He jumps when you jump, so use that to get under him when he moves from wall to wall, and he flings a jewel from his shield when you hit it. After 3 sweeps, he'll stop and shoot any remaining jewels at you in quick succession. Doesn't sound too tricky, right? Well, thanks for that pattern, by the way. Yes, in principle. Thing is, I have an annoying habit of not hitting the jewels when I want to, and instead hitting Jewel Man. This means that I have to dodge more jewels than I would like when he flings them all at me. Now, I'm certainly not going to excuse away all the hits I take here, either by jumping into him, somehow, or getting him to land on me, but this is not as easy as it might sound. And as so often happens, when it starts to go wrong during this fight, it becomes quite hard to recover, and things seem to escalate very quickly. Ugh. Not my finest boss fight by any means. And yeah, one last hit for good measure. Well, you nearly took me down with you. Very undeserved, but I get Jewel Satellite. And yes, I know what you're thinking. Great, another shield weapon. Jewel Satellite, however, is ridiculously overpowered and is easily the best shield weapon in the entire series. It absolutely shreds through minor enemies. So if I'm being honest, I expected the level to give me more trouble than the Robot Master. But on that showing, all I need to do is sort out the Robot Master fight. Right. Ah, you wanted to see how bothersome this stage was, did you? Well, don't worry. Despite my Let's Play run you just saw, this is not an easy level by any means, and I'll be letting you know of every single trouble spot along the way. So why don't we start off here with the very first couple of enemies. Always thought the Central Gauntlet was going to cause problems, and sure enough, here's where my very first mess up occurred. Do not adjust your speakers, ears, eyes or anything else, but I really did inform you of every single outtake I suffered. It only took 5 minutes to achieve the perfect run, because I only had the one outtake and it was on the first enemy gauntlet screen. Wow. Let me stress once again, no prior practice on this stage. Now, I do reckon that Mega Man 9 is the game in the classic series I know better than all others, but still, second attempt for this stage? And my outtake was at the very beginning, so I didn't even get to play the bulk of the level to gain more familiarity right there and then. Almost every screen poses a real danger. I won't bother talking about the enemy gauntlet section separately, but suffice to say there are enemies that float down from the ceiling and whizzle on the floor, spiders that jump around manically, Mets, cannons, the big stompers, you name it, they're there. Sometimes in combinations too. These areas can be a pain in the neck to traverse safely. All I can say is, try to take them slowly so that you don't end up scrolling lots of enemies on screen at the same time. You've also got a few swing platform screens that are incredibly easy to misjudge, and either plummet into a bottomless pit or clip one of the wall spikes, so great care needed there. And a mid-boss which usually isn't too bad, but depending on where the face boulder drops, it can be annoying to avoid and ensure you're in the air when he lands so you don't get stunned. It's also easier than you might think to miss time jumping over him when he rolls along the floor. He moves fast and you need to be prepared. Then of course there's Jewel Man waiting at the end of the level. While I don't think he's too bad, it is so easy to lose the pattern and leave yourself screwed. Jump as often as you dare. This will slow him down somewhat and afford you more time to attack him, hopefully knocking some of the barrier jewels away instead of going through the barrier. You ideally want to take out at least 2 of the barrier jewels before he flings them at you, or they could be a pain to dodge. 3 left on screen is manageable, but I wish you the very best of luck in dodging all 4. Definitely not advisable. And of course, make sure that when you do attack, it's from a distance, or you won't have enough time to dodge the jewels that ping back at you. Not the worst fight ever, but for me anyway, it's always a really nervy one, and not the kind I want at the end of an ordinarily awkward level. Pretty happy with that, unsurprisingly. Not even a hint of disappointment at missing pulling off a no outtake run again. 3rd in the game, by the way. I definitely think Mega Man 9 isn't anywhere nearly as hard as some people make it out to be, but I don't think it's this easy. This is my most ridiculously underrated stage to date, but I just can't give Jewel any other score than 1 out of 10, and he becomes the 13th member of the club along with Heat, Top, Magnet, Hyperstorm H, Toad, Gravity, Gyro Knight, Tomahawk, Spring, Galaxy and Concrete. There is no way this stage warrants such a low rating. The level has a number of enemy gauntlets that can be an enormous pain to get through, the swinging platform sections are easy to make a mess of, and there's a mid-boss that will occasionally catch you out, either from the pattern of falling boulders, or because you missed timing jumping so as not to get stunned, which is easier to do. And lastly, Jewel Man, while extremely pattern-based, can be awkward to avoid if you leave too many jewels in his shield when he flings them at you, and while I would never ordinarily be lucky enough to hit a robot master through a shield here, when I don't want to do that, I do. Go figure. It's a potentially really nasty stage, and I honestly thought I would be stuck on it for some time. A rating of at least 6 out of 10 wouldn't seem unreasonable to me. But with my second attempt bringing success, yeah, a ludicrous sounding 1 out of 10 it has to be. What I wouldn't give for the same kind of success on the 2 remaining stages. These are not going to be fun. Well, not for me anyway. You'll no doubt get a chuckle out of my pain. So is now the time that I erupt with a fiery rage? Tune in next time to find out. Cheerio.